You've read the books. You've studied the habits. You've followed the advice of the world's most successful people. But here's what nobody tells you. The advice you're reading was written by survivors. And the people who followed the exact same advice and failed, you've never heard of them. Because failure doesn't write bestsellers. Welcome to Obvious Logic, where complex ideas finally make sense. Today we're tackling survivorship bias, the invisible filter that distorts everything you think you know about success, business, investing, and life. In World War II, the US military had a problem. Their bombers were getting shot down at devastating rates. So they studied the planes that came back and noticed bullet holes clustered around the wings and tail. The obvious conclusion? Reinforce those areas. But a statistician named Abraham Wald pointed out something nobody else had seen. The bullet holes on returning planes showed where a plane could be hit and still survive. The planes that were shot in the engines and cockpit, they never came back. They were at the bottom of the ocean. The military had been studying the wrong planes. They were only looking at survivors. This is survivorship bias. And it's everywhere. Think about the advice in every business book you've ever read. Wake up at 5 a.m. Journal every morning. Take cold showers. Trust your gut. Move fast and break things. These habits are presented as the keys to success because successful people practice them. But thousands of people who woke up at 5 a.m., journaled religiously, and trusted their gut went completely broke. We just never heard about them. The same applies to investment advice. Someone tells you they made a fortune buying Bitcoin in 2015. What they don't mention are the 9 other people who bought obscure cryptocurrencies in 2015 and lost everything. You only hear from the winner. This is why most financial advice is essentially useless. It's written by people who got lucky and then constructed a narrative around their luck to make it sound like genius. Survivorship bias shows up everywhere once you start looking. The music industry, we celebrate artists who made it despite rejection. What we don't see are the thousands of equally talented artists who were rejected and simply gave up. Were they less talented? Probably not. They were just unlucky. Hollywood. Every struggling actor who made it has a story about the one audition that changed everything. Missing is every equally determined actor who went to that same audition, gave the same performance, and never got the call. Even the companies we admire, Apple, Amazon, Google, are held up as proof that visionary founders with bold ideas win. But for every Apple, there were 100 equally bold, equally visionary companies that collapsed without a trace. Here's the practical takeaway. When someone tells you their formula for success, ask yourself how many people followed this exact formula and failed. If you can't answer that question, the advice is incomplete. This doesn't mean success is pure luck. It means the path to success is far less predictable than the survivors would have you believe. Skill matters, hard work matters, but so does timing, circumstance, and chance. The most honest thing any successful person could say is, I worked hard, I made smart decisions, and I got lucky. In that order. Survivorship bias isn't just an interesting idea. It's a lens. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. You'll question every success story, every piece of advice, every headline that tells you what the winners did. And that skepticism, that healthy, logical skepticism, is exactly what Obvious Logic is here to build. Subscribe so you never miss a video. Because the truth is usually hiding in plain sight. You just need the right lens to see it.